What's the best light or lantern for camping, and more specifically for this video, motorcycle camping? We're going to look into it coming up. Got a whole bunch of different lights and flashlights and things around here, and I think since we've got the lanterns all fired up, we're going to start with them, and I've got a bonus idea for you at the end. But most of this stuff is good for motorcycle camping because it's not going to take up a ton of space. I started out with this Energizer Fusion lantern, and I really like this thing. I've had it for years, and it's been pretty faithful little light. I like your options. You can stand it up just like this. You can get light kind of going everywhere with that, where if it's facing down like this, it's going to block the light in this direction and just put it that way. It's got a little tripod stand here, and the thing I like about the Fusion is it's pretty thin profile. It doesn't take up a ton of space on your motorcycle or in your saddlebag or wherever you're going to store it on your bike. So it does work pretty good, but this thing does take a ton of batteries. You can run it on either 4 AA or 8 AA batteries. They go into this compartment right here. And I'd say overall it's been pretty good light. It's super bright and all that, but it's not light with all those batteries in it, and it does go through batteries pretty good. So that's one option, and I've talked about that in previous videos. I did a giveaway like years ago for one of those. I've been pretty happy with it, but there's better options, I believe, at this point. Now here's one from Vaunt, and we're going to talk about Vaunt a little bit in this video because I've actually got several lights from them. You can find these things on Amazon. I've kind of grown to like Vaunt. They reached out to me several months ago, I guess, and I kind of talked about some of their lights before, including this lantern, and I would say it doesn't feel like an amazing material, but the stuff has been holding up pretty good, and I haven't had any issues with it at all. And they're bright, super bright, and the price on them is good. So for me, Vaunt gets a gold star. I like their stuff, and like I said, you can get like 2 packs of these lanterns for super cheap. I'll have links to this stuff down in the description below. You can check them out in my Amazon affiliate store. But so I do like these lanterns. Pretty compact, just a little bit bigger than a can of beer or a can of pop. I would say if you had a can in a like one of the foam koozies, that's about what size this is. But a nice thing about this lantern is you could either just set it on the table, pop it up, but it's also got the handles, so you can carry it around or hang it somewhere. And these do a really nice job of lighting up the area. Super bright, bunch of LEDs in there, and yeah, I do like them. This would not pack down quite as well. It won't take up a ton of space, but it's a pretty good option. The next lantern I want to talk to you about is this Luminaid pack light. It's a 2-in-1 lantern. It's got a phone charger. They're solar powered, so you can charge this thing through the solar panel on top here. You're also able to plug it in and charge it with a micro USB. I had to check that out because I couldn't remember. Also, you're able to charge your phone off of this in an emergency situation. So I do like this. Let's see. Battery life is very low. That's why it's not on right now. But it's quite a bright light. I did a whole video about this thing. There's a bunch of different settings for how bright it is. And then it's also got the kind of emergency flasher thing going on. But here's the beauty of this. And this is what makes this really good for motorcycle camping, in my opinion. And probably one of my all-time favorite lights or lanterns that I've ever talked about on this channel. You pack this thing down, turn your handle into a little strap here to pack this thing away. And the thing about this lantern is it's not going to take up hardly any space on your bike whatsoever, and it's super, super lightweight. So if you're worried about having room for a light, or you're worried about weight on your motorcycle, this thing is going to pack anywhere on your motorcycle, and you're going to be good to go. Leave it out in the daylight during the day, charge it up via the solar panel, and you're going to have plenty of light to get through the evening, whatever. You're able to hang it in your tent from the strap and provide plenty of light for your tent, set it on your picnic table, or just hang it up around camp somewhere. You're going to have plenty of light with this thing. Absolutely love it. One of my favorite products for motorcycle touring. So moving on, we've got regular old flashlights that you're familiar with. This one again is from Vaunt. It's got a few different settings. Also, you're able to adjust the light spread here. Wonder if you can. I love that, how it's a square. It's just cool. Anyway, super bright, really nice little flashlight from Vaunt. I have a very similar one from Duracell. I don't think this one is quite as bright, and it doesn't have that adjustability. But of course, we've all had these little flashlights, and you know pretty much all there is to know about it. Here's another one from Duracell. It's bigger. It's going to take up much more space, but it is super bright, and it also does that little square thing. I don't have any batteries in this at the moment, but just kind of giving you some ideas. For motorcycle riding or traveling, I would rather go with one of these small ones, just because they're going to take up less space than a big one like this. But again, very bright, nice flashlight to have around. And lastly, we're going to talk about headlamps. Now, this is the first one I got. This is an Energizer. It's got a few different settings available, and it's got an adjustable tilt. You're going to find these features on pretty much all of them. This one has served me pretty well. I've had it for a really long time, and it's done a really good job. But again, from Vaunt, we have a couple other options. These are super bright. Different settings, again, flash. And this one has a separate button on the other side to control the red light, which is supposed to be good at night. And a few different, a couple different patterns, strobing pattern or just regular red light. And you can do both. I don't think, can you see the red light when the white one's on? You can have both going. So, kind of nice. This one's their older model, I believe. This is the Tron. This other one is called the Spark from Vaunt. Now, this one's a little bit brighter. I don't really know how to show you that it's brighter, but it is. It is bright. But this one's only got one button on top, so if you hold it, that's going to give you the other color light. With this one, I don't think you can do the red and the white at the same time. It's kind of an either or kind of thing. But if you hold it, it'll switch to the other color. And then again, this is an SOS. And then this is a pulse, I guess. Strobe. And if we hold it, you're going to get the white light. And then you can adjust the brightness on that. Super bright. Or the strobe. So that's a few different options for the headlights. And I think probably your best option, if you're only going to bring one light with on a camping trip, I would say a headlamp is probably the way to go. Because whether you just need to look around real quick or whatever, you've got the light. if you're trying to make a meal in the dark, or if you're trying to work on your motorcycle late at night, you can just put it on your head. You got light where you need it. It will just aim it where you need it to go. And you could even hang it in your tent and kind of have the light shining down. So you've sort of got a little bit of a lantern idea going on there. So I think personally, if I was just going to bring one light, it would be a headlamp, I think. And the nice thing about these are they don't take up a lot of space. This one takes 3 AAA batteries, and this one also takes 3 AAA batteries. So I think either one is a pretty good option. They both claim to be waterproof and indestructible. I don't know if they're actually indestructible, but I do think that they would hold up pretty well. But yeah, so it's pretty nice because they don't take up a lot of space and they're pretty lightweight. So I mean, you could easily just carry one of these in your bike all the time, and you'd be pretty good to go with something like that, I think. But personally, I wouldn't just bring one light. I would usually bring something like the Luminaid little packable lantern here, which I really love. Again, and maybe a headlight would be a good option. Now a little bonus for you. In the past, I have brought with a short string of Christmas lights. I know, that seems crazy, but they are lightweight. They don't take up a lot of room on your motorcycle. I usually get an electric camping site anyways because I got to keep my camera batteries and things like that charged, the GoPro batteries and things like that if I'm out on a trip or whatever and I want to be making content to share with y'all. So the nice thing about the Christmas lights is if you set up like a tarp over the picnic table and you have guidelines coming down, you can just run the Christmas lights along those guidelines, along the tarp on the other side. It's going to do a really nice job of lighting up your picnic table area. Plus it provides light so that people aren't tripping over your guidelines in the middle of the night or whatever. And they just look cool. When I did that, when we went out to Sturgis, we were camping in Custer State Park. I had my lights all set up, my little thing over the picnic table, so we could kind of store some stuff there and be protected up from the weather a little bit. I got a lot of compliments on it. I gotta say, people thought it was pretty unique, kind of a cool thing. So I think lights are a good idea. Christmas lights. I'd go with LED because you're not going to have the problems with the bulbs burning out and then the whole string dying. A nice short string of LED Christmas lights and you're good to go. So that's an option if you've got an electric site. I don't know, just a little bonus idea I thought I would throw out there. As long as we're talking about lights, why not, right? If you want to check out the video from this Luminaid lantern, I mean, I'll put that right here. And if you want to see another video, here's one that the YouTube algorithm determined that you might like. So this one is specifically for you right there. A couple links over here for subscribe now if you want to see more content from me, and become a patron of Touring Midwest if you'd like to help support the content, which in turns help me support the economy and small businesses and restaurants that I love to go visit so much. I want to make a lot more content like that for you guys this year, so if you become a patron or click the PayPal link down in the description, you can donate a little bit of money and help me out. Really appreciate it. Stay safe out there as always. We will catch you next time right here on Touring Midwest.